Without a shadow of a doubt, it's the Crockett Show in social media history. I want to welcome you to another episode of the War Zone. Say, man, I'm on a tear right now. And if you don't know who I am the 5-star general. Say, man, some of y'all think I'm a game, huh? Some of y'all think I'm just a loudmouth black dude, huh? Well, I got news for you. I ain't to be played with. And there's something going down in Fort Bend County, and it's now time that I expose it. Let's get to it, baby. Say, man, I want to welcome you to another episode of the War Zone and tell you thank you for taking the time out to hang out with your friend, the crazy black Republican, the 5-star general. And, I always want to let you guys know that it's an honor and a pleasure to have you tuning in to this show, because you really could be out doing something else. I want you to push the share button on this video, because this is going to be a phenomenal show, because I'm going to expose some stuff. That's what I do. I expose some stuff. Instead of drinking one of my old school Millers, I'm drinking me a Great Crush soda. I want to start this thing off by telling y'all I've been doing the War Zone. Oh, man, I think we're running into 3 years now. It started off with Dr. Candace Matthews and Elvante Patton. Then we ended up with Demetra K and Donovan. God bless all four of them for doing the show with me. I appreciate it. But now I ride by myself some nights, and every now and then I'll have somebody pop in and hang out with me, but I can handle it. But, I mean, my thing has been for the last few years of exposing things. And like this Friday on the new podcast, Talk That from a Conservative Perspective, I'm going to expose Beto O'Rourke. Yeah, I got something on old Beto running for governor in the state of Texas. But I wanna start by saying this, that for the longest that I've been doing this, even before the War Zone, exposing corruption and all that stuff, I think by me taking a break from doing it in Houston, a lot of y'all politicians and criminals thought that I had lost my mojo. You thought that I didn't know how to do this no more, man. And honestly, I never lost my mojo. I was just doing other things. So it's a lot of stuff finna come out in the next few days that's gonna amaze y'all. But the Beto O'Rourke, you're gonna have to hear that live on my podcast Friday at 2:00. Talk that from a conservative perspective. I want to say congratulations to my man Rashard Baylor, who is, African American dude from the community. He's going to run in District 147 for Garnett Coleman's seat, but from the Republican side. Need more black Republicans, and I want to tell him thank you for having the courage to do what God has put in your heart to do. And let's run together, brother. You in 147, I'm in 131. We're going to go get it. And we're going to take care of the hood once we get it. So don't let that R and that D fool you. I'm Gary Monroe. But this way I was. That people thought I lost my mojo and thought I couldn't do what I normally do. Well, I'm going to tell you something, man. I was watching Narcos one night. And I was watching the season about the Cali cartel. And, I'm a big Narcos fan. And hello to all of y'all, Jacqueline, Thunder, Chocolate Girl, Amy, everybody, man. I appreciate you guys tuning in. But I was watching Narcos one night. And I was watching the episode about the Cali cartel. And one of those Jeter brothers father told one of them, "I'm proud of you." And he said, "Why?" He said, "Because when you didn't have a lane, you created a lane for yourself." Now, out here, I created a lane for myself in what I do. I created a lane. I need you guys to push the share button. You don't want to miss this because I got something coming down the pike in a few minutes. I created a lane for myself. I do things untraditionally. I do it from a hard-nosed perspective. And like Thunder said, it's hard having conservative values and still gonna be around folks that start treating you differently. I just don't be around them. Whether we want to act like we understand or not, a whole bunch of us black folks got conservative values. But here's my thing that I was talking about. I created my own lane in this. You know, before there was a Gary Monroe, there wasn't anybody standing up for kids like that. You know, you had a few that was doing what they were doing, but they were standing up in the way that they knew how to stand up. And I stand up a different way. I stand up from an aspect that I pay my taxes. And when I pay my taxes, I want what I paid for. So I ain't gonna play the political games with you. I'm gonna bring that heat to your ass. That's what's gonna happen. So a lot of people don't like me, and I really don't care. That line stretches around the corner. You get a few trolls that even pop up on the show and try to act like me being a Republican is the worst thing in the world. No, me being a Democrat and being asleep and letting them folk fuck over me is the worst thing in the world. That's what it is. But my thing is this. I'm gonna keep doing it the way that I know how to do it. And I'm gonna keep getting the results the way that I need to get the results. I'm not in this thing to be nobody's friend. I'm not in this thing for political favors. I'm not in this thing for folks to line my pocket. I'm in this thing to expose all you criminals that's messing over our community and messing over our children. And that go for every last one of y'all. So I want you pastors to get on the phone and call your city council member, who then can call their county commissioner. And then I want you to call every political person you know right now, because now it's time to have a conversation. A few months back, there was a controversial contract given out by the Harris County Commissioner's Court. And that contract was supposed to be for COVID outreach, $11 million. And come to find out that the county judge had given the contract to one of her friends who didn't even meet the criteria for having the contract. This lady was working out of her apartment, a one-man show, and you get an $11 million contract to do COVID outreach. Now, the way that normally works is they'll give their friend that contract. They'll give their friends that contract, and then their friends will go and get somebody like the Texas Organizing Project TOP to help them facilitate the contract, to help them do what the contract says. But the contract was for COVID outreach. We knew that was a lie. Me and Aubrey Taylor reported on it. We knew it was a lie. This person is not going to do no COVID outreach in their one-man crew. Well, anyway, the contract came under scrutiny, and before you know it, a week or two later, they had to cancel the contract. Commissioner's Court canceled that $11 million contract because it was really, really scrutinized. Now, what I want y'all to do, somebody out there, is I want you to hashtag any news station in your town, where you from, as many of them as you can hashtag. KRIV, Fox 26, KHOU. I want you to hashtag them news stations right now. So they had to give that contract back, and it went out of the window because that was some shady dealings to begin with. Well, while they were doing it and dealing with it in that aspect, there was a contract similar to that one, exactly the same, that they were going to do in Fort Bend County. But this contract was going to Shakira Dennis from Next Wave Consulting. So the thing is, well, is that unusual? Do they have a relationship with her? Do they know her? No. Does she have the people to actually work the contract? Sure, she did. She's a political consultant for multiple politicians. And she does it under the guise that Next Wave Consulting is her company. But those of us that are in the game know that there's a guy, allegedly, named Preston Middleton that's connected to Next Wave. Do some research on Preston and then tell me who he works for at the moment. Well, anyway, they give her this $3 million contract, if I'm correct about that number. Same contract they gave away in Harris County that they had to take back because it wasn't right. But now they slide this $3 million contract through in Fort Bend County, and the commissioners voted on it. Well, I get a call yesterday from somebody in Fort Bend County. It started telling me, why these people from Harris County all up in our county? Well, you can't stop them from being there. They can consult anywhere they want. But I say, we told y'all this like 3 or 4 months ago that this was going on. And they were like, man, we didn't know. Somebody knew. Somebody know. So here's my question. Shakira Dennis, if you have a contract for consulting, why are you doing work? Why are you doing political outreach work? So you got $3 million to go out and promote Democratic candidates that are running in 2022 when that's not what the contract is actually for. You're supposed to be doing COVID outreach. So let's define COVID outreach. Why do we need COVID outreach at this point? It's been almost 3 years. Why do we need to know about the COVID? We know everything we need to know about it. What does Shakira Dennis know that the experts who, tell us about this on a daily, whether you believe the COVID or not, but experts tell us about it on a daily. But why does this one little black woman think that she can go out and do COVID outreach? And then, well, we want to do it because, black men, they're not being, jabbed up enough. Man, shut up. Ma'am, you're not doing no COVID outreach. You're doing political outreach. You took taxpayer money and now you're out there caping for these Democratic politicians. That's what you're using that money for. So did the commissioners in Fort Bend know? They had to have known. Did the commissioners in Fort Bend give a damn? They had to not give a damn because they saw what happened in Harris County. So now you're taking taxpayer money to do political outreach so that you can get to the voters in reference to the candidates that, allegedly you may be pushing. So you're gonna knock on their door and say this is about COVID, and before you know it, you're gonna be talking about a state rep race. You're gonna be talking about a county judge race. But see, everybody wants to scream and holler that the Republicans are the devil. But every time you look up, my Democratic brothers and sisters keep getting caught with their pants and their panties down. And my question is why? Do you people not believe that you're going to go to jail eventually? Shakira Dennis, please let me explain something to you, baby. I'm going to start this from the beginning. You don't want this smoke at all. And anybody that's using you to do this outreach don't want this smoke either. So when I come, don't be mad. What I need you to do If you were smart, you get them people their money back. But you don't have to do anything. You can think you're high powered and ain't nothing gonna happen. Baby, I will have you so twisted up it will hurt your heart. You are not going to run around our communities and rape our communities not as long as I'm breathing. You are not going to go around here and do your political outreach to get your political friends back in office so that they can do what they are doing. And I totally agree. Alan Guillory say the Democrats are sloppy with the organized crime in Harris County. Exactly. They're totally sloppy. And now you done took y'all up out of Harris County, and now you over here in Fort Bend County. Now, some of you Fort Bend County politicians, you have, and I'm not going to name the politicians tonight. I'll name them on another show. You have people running your campaigns that are connected to organized crime. Organized crime. And that's what I call it. Antron Johnson from the Texas Coalition of Black Democrats is running an illegal PAC. That PAC was created by Carole Robinson. You're the first one to put the money up for the PAC. You did all that. Blam, I get it on me. So now you got Antron out like he knows how to run campaigns. We're talking about a dude that can't put two sentences together, can't add 2 + 2. And now you running campaigns. Let me tell you politicians something. Since you want to align yourself with the likes of Antron Johnson, who's clearly connected to the bogus PACs that are affiliated with the Texas Coalition of Black Democrats, we're going to expose you too. We're going to expose you too. You politicians out there that are giving your money to these people, you still think that they can deliver the black vote? They can't deliver a damn thing. Let me tell you what they ain't gonna deliver. Look at the numbers in the runoff elections for school board right now. The black community is up out the building. You feel what I'm saying? Why are the numbers not higher? What, they can't seem to work the numbers now? Or is it the fact that the voter integrity laws kicked in December 2nd and you scared to death to cheat and get caught because now you'll go to jail? I want to know. I want to know. You judges that are using Antron, let him go. I'm going to tank you. You county judges that are using Antron, let him go. I'm going to tank you. If you're running for state rep and Antron's running your campaign, let him go. I'm going to tank you. And I'm going to expose you. Because you know what? If I was dealing with all of these people who have been exposed for illegal activity, you would have me on the 6 o'clock news. So I think I'll put you on the 6 o'clock news. I mean what I say, and I say what I mean. It's time for us to be straight across the board. Antron is the new Chris Oliver. Chris Oliver is the disgraced HCC trustee that ended up getting 6 years in the federal penitentiary. Carole, was you on the HCC board when that happened? So if you're using these people, then you need to let them go. Now, you notice tonight I'm being nice and I'm not exposing the politicians themselves. But I'll come back later in the week and tear your ass to the bone. I know you're listening. So if I said judges, county judges, elected officials, it's time for you to get rid of them. Either get rid of them or I'm going to send them people. And when I send them people, ain't going to be nothing to talk about because they got a 95% conviction rate. Now, the rest of you Negro politicians out there that want to swell up and bump your mouth and all that, when I dial your number, answer the phone, clown. because I'll send them your way too. You know what's so sad is I got wind that an elected official, a high-ranking elected official, is pushing the jab at our community because they are tied to the jab themselves. The sad part is we want to use our community as guinea pigs to line our pockets. I ain't talking about that case, Alan Guillory. I'm talking about something totally different. Yeah, I know about the Maldonado case. Uh that is in the Supreme Court, matter of fact. And I think he's gonna lose that one, by the way. But my thing is you want to use our community as guinea pigs to line your pockets. You want to use our community as stepping stones to get where you want to go politically. You know, and what's so sickening is we have to wake up and clearly see what they're doing. This is why the Democratic Party is slowly losing African Americans, because we've woken up to your BS. Now, I'm not sitting here trying to drag the Democratic Party. I'm sitting here dragging the Democratic Party in Harris County because of the things that you do and the stuff you say and how you run your mouth. Now, I want you all to go tell the Godfather, County Commissioner Rodney Ellis, so that he can swell up and sit his ass down. Because guess what? No, Amy. So guess what? Go and tell the Godfather that Gary Monroe say he can line it up any day he want. See, y'all walk around and y'all do all kinds of stuff. Matter of fact, they like to call your bosses and your jobs, and they like to do things. Well, call mine. You know how that's going to work? You would call, and guess what? Hello. My phone would ring. I work for myself. So you can't affect my money. You see that Matumbo finger wave? You can't affect my money. It will never happen because I work for myself. So you can't control me. You can't stop me. What you gonna do? You gonna tell Daddy Ellis and he gonna come a running? Nah, he ain't gonna do that. He a punk. The county commissioner is weak. He's no good and he's weak. And he's never gonna run up on me because I'm just what the doctor ordered. I'm just what the doctor ordered. He ain't gonna run up on me. Adrian Garcia, you a punk. I said it. Lena Hidalgo, the cat woman, you a punk. You ain't gonna do nothing. You ain't gonna do nothing but run your mouth. Y'all ain't gonna do nothing but run your mouth. And see, I'm gonna show you how disrespectful these people is. Let me put this comment up. Thunder saying now the vice president is asking for help from black women, and it's amazing how the Democratic Party never mentions black men unless it's negative. So she needs help from black women. Black women needed help from her the day after she was elected. And now she needs help from black women? Are you serious? You know why she will even ask that? I'll tell you why she'll even ask it. Because they think that the African American, the black community is stupid. They think that you guys are stupid They think that you don't have common sense. So they will boo-boo on you for 4 years. And then they'll come right back to you and ask you for your help. They'll lie and say they were working behind the scenes, when in all actuality, they wasn't doing anything for our people. Now, that's totally up to you how you deal with your Democratic clowns. But I can promise you this black man ain't dealing with them no more at all. So yes, Kamala's going to come, and the ultimate disrespect will come from the president of the United States himself when he comes back to the black community with the likes of James Clyburn and start begging for the black vote. See, because there's no way that they can get in office without it. They're going to tell you that so-and-so did this. The Republicans did that. They're this, they're that. But they're not going to tell you what they've done to earn your vote for another 4 years. Terry Hayes says the DNC only needs black people when it's time to vote, and that's to help them get in office. Then they forget about what your issues are and move on with their own agenda. He's exactly right. I expect some trolls to pop up tonight. But guess what? I'm not even entertaining the trolls. I'm not, because I'm going to tell you the truth. These folks don't give a damn about the African American community. They never have, and they never will. So now Kamala's coming back. She's caping the black women. Joe's going to come. He's going to cape for the black vote. And Sharon Thomas says, not going to work. We are on code. That's where I beg to differ with you. Because what they're going to do is they're going to throw up Republican. They're going to throw up whites. They're going to throw up oppression. They're going to throw up racism. But they're never going to tell you what they did to earn your vote. Alan Guillory say if they need the black vote, we need more than free turkeys, water, stimulus checks every 4 months. Thunder says fearmonger and say that the Republicans are racist, and if you don't vote for them, they're going to threaten you that your right and your freedom will be taken away, which is not going to happen. Ain't no rights going to be taken away. Ain't no freedom going to be taken away. But they want you to believe this. What I wanted to believe was when, if I voted for you, that you were going to go in there and do the things that you promised to do. But you've not done that. You've not gone into office. Hey, Goldie Blowfly Johnson, you've not gone into office and done anything that you said you were going to do. Let's see what Terry says on the other page. He says the black community may or may not be big enough to have the power of its own party, but if we can get the Latino and Asian community that has the same issues that we do, then we all have the power. Thunder says, and if they're not in office fighting for you, you're going to wind up back on the plantation. That's what they're going to say. Well, guess what? No, I won't. Because they say it. The same people that leave us hanging, the same people that ain't did nothing for us. They're going to tell us what the other folks are going to do for us. What they ain't did nothing for you. No, I'm not worried about what they ain't did. I'm worried about what you ain't did. You see what I'm saying? So that's just like in Fort Bend County with the fake COVID outreach contract with Shakira Dennis and New Wave Consulting. Oh, and by the way, Shakira, I actually have the contract. So I know what you are supposed to do. And mixing political outreach with that COVID outreach is a violation of your contract. I just want you to know that I read the contract. You feel what I'm saying? You guys hold on just a second. So the thing is, there are some black people that are gonna fall for it because they're mentally unwound. There are some black people that are gonna believe that they're gonna end up back on the plantation because they're ignorant. There are some black people that are gonna run to the polls and vote for Joe Biden just because Massa Joe said so. There are some people that are gonna do that. And those are the ones that should have been running with Harriet Tubman and then messed up them getting away so she could have shot him in the forehead. That's what she said. Everybody doesn't deserve to come off the plantation. Let's get that straight. Everybody does not deserve to come off the plantation. All of those people that's been down with these raggedy politicians, stealing from us for years, those are the ones that should go hang out with them. You see what I'm saying? Now, we have to ask ourselves, us with the degrees, us with the high-powered education, and we're African American, are we truly as smart as we portray? Are we truly as smart as we portray? Let's read Barbara Brooks's comment. Let's see if I can get it up. Okay. When you run as a representative, people trust that you will do the right thing. All of us need to look at the history of these representatives. What have they actually done for us? Sheila and Rodney have been in office forever. Question: do they keep getting reelected because of their name or what they have done for us? It's time for new blood. We blacks have not made a tremendous amount of progress. I totally agree with Barbara. And we're not going to make any progress until we just tear this black politician thing down, burn it to the ground, and get us some new representatives. Doesn't matter if they Republican or Democrat, as long as they do what they're supposed to do for our communities. You want me to trust you as a Democrat, but you are the one that keeps messing over me. But you're saying don't trust the Republicans because they're going to do this and they're going to do that. A lot of the things that these people pushed in the last 2 to 3 years, you forced them to push it. And if we can't send people down to the state capitals and send them to Washington when they don't have the majority and have the ability to work both sides of the aisles, then guess what? Those are wrong people to send down there. Because if you don't have the majority, then you're going to have to figure out a way how to finesse the game. How you going to have to finesse the game. And what we have is some old Negro spirituals that don't know how to finesse the game. Not all of them, but some of them. And some of these younger ones that are showing up, they trash too. And I'm saying all around the state of Texas and around the country, they're trash. They don't know how to finesse the game. They don't know how to get things done. They think the only way they can get it done is by trying to act like the Republicans have been racist against us every single day. But the worst racist we'll ever encounter, African American people, is a black one. Thunder says there's a Democratic politician who is retiring 30 years. One thing that you did in 30 years that benefited the community. Name one thing. Now they'll lie and say they did this and did that. Well, shit, I was a kid back then. I don't know what the hell you did. You see what I'm saying? So when it's all said and done, are we as intelligent as we should be to even get off into these conversations? I've been in conversations with people who really thought that because they had a master's or a PhD that they were gonna make me look bad in that conversation. They couldn't even hang with me. See, because most of the decisions that they have to make are common sense decisions. And when they're common sense decisions, they may have all the book sense in the world, but they don't have common sense. So therefore, they can't make that decision in the best interest of their people. They can't make it. So let's talk about it. What has Rodney Ellis done all these years he's been in politics? Sing it with me. Not a goddamn thing. Sheila Jackson Lee. What has she done all these years? Not a goddamn thing. And let's go to it. All our black leaders, Jesse Jackson, not a goddamn thing. Al Sharpton, not a goddamn thing. I could keep singing. John Lewis, God bless him. Hopefully he made it to heaven. Not a goddamn thing. Elijah Cummings, not a goddamn thing. Maxine Waters, not a goddamn thing. These people have done nothing for us. I'm not in awe when I see you. I'm not in awe. I'm not going to trip over myself because I see you and I get excited about seeing you. For what? No, baby, I can't do that. I'm concerned with the well-being of my people. And these politicians I just named, I could keep going. These people have done nothing for us. So my question now becomes to you, ain't nothing wrong with leaving the Democratic Party and becoming an independent. Ain't nothing wrong with leaving the Democratic Party and becoming a Republican. That's your choice because the people that represent us gave us the option to do it when they didn't do their jobs. They gave us the option to do it when they did not do their jobs. So I see my good friend Alma Marshall and Elisa Williams. How y'all doing? My good friend Cynthia Turner. How you doing, baby? My dog, been my dog for 20 years. My man Terry Hayes, what's going on? Yeah, I want to talk about Jesse for a minute. Barbara say Jesse sold us out and gave up all his votes. I remember all the black elderly people were so disappointed, and I won't go deep into detail. He sold Martin out, and that's a Jasmine factor. Thunder says, if you don't want to become a Republican, becoming independent and vote for who has your best interest, and your best interest is something that's tangible, not rhetoric. It's common sense at this point. It's time to hold a vote, man. It's time to hold a vote, man. But let's go back to Jesse. I believe what you say. Alan Guillory say Jesse Jackson been a snake. He knew who killed MLK. Jesse Jackson is the worst type of political Negro that I've ever seen. Jesse Jackson makes my stomach turn. Him and his Rainbow Push Coalition can go straight to hell with gasoline draws on. That's how I feel about Jesse Jackson. That's how I feel about it. And if you're a Jesse Jackson fan and got a problem with it, line it up. Line it up, homie. You mad because people say bad things about Sheila Jackson Lee? Why? Why? Why you upset? Because your Negro leadership ain't did nothing for us, and you get upset if we say something bad about them? In my Cedric the Entertainer voice, fuck Jesse Jackson. I don't know him on a personal level and don't want to know him. But I just meant what I said. Jesse Jackson ain't did nothing for black people. Let's talk about Al Sharpton, good snitching ass. You the police. You the police. Man, you the police. Nobody want to. Al Sharpton, you a joke. Now you running around here with all them dead mamas collecting that money, man. You collecting that money, man. No. But I tell you what, I remember when Trayford Pellerin died in Lafayette, Louisiana. And he come around there like he the big dog, and I get on the war zone and tell him, you ain't check in with these people. You better check in with these people down here, man. And get what he did at the funeral. He had to bow down and apologize for not checking in with these people. See, a lot of days we don't need the Crumps. We don't need the Lee Marys. We don't need the Jesse Jacksons. We don't need the Al Sharptons. So why we keep bringing them into our community, into our life? Like they are so influential. Well, my grandma liked Jesse Jackson. I'm not talking about the Harris County Jail tonight, man. What you want me to say about it? That place been messed up forever. Well, my grandma, she loved Jesse Jackson. Ask your grandma what Jesse Jackson did for black people. Nothing. We don't even want to talk about the Congressional Black Talkers. That's the Congressional Black Caucus. And according to Thunder, has done for everyone else, they're only black in name. Name me 3 things the Congressional Black Caucus has done specifically for black people and blacks only. I wait for that answer myself. What have they done? Nothing. So here's my thing to y'all. Whether you're in Fort Bend County, whether you're in Harris County, all these little illegal contracts and you politicians being involved in it, I'm about to bust your behind. I'm about every one of y'all that voted to give Shakira Dennis that contract in Fort Bend County. I'm about to bust your behind. Now go back to the table and do what you need to do to pull it, because we done already caught her doing voter outreach with the money. Using the money for voter outreach. That's not what that contract is for. That's not what it's for. And by the way, some of you black politicians in Fort Bend County, your political career is over. I'm going to show you better than I can tell you. So, ain't got no beef with them? You go get Cynthia Ginyard. You go get whoever you want when it's your turn to run. Your political career is over. Because some of y'all went in the office and you forgot who helped you. You forgot who went to war for you. Let me give you a prime example of that. Yeah, I'll call this nigga out. Sheriff Eric Fagan. I'm calling you out, homie. I thought you didn't do endorsements. You just out there clowning, bro. Be glad when you run, homie. Got something for you. You gonna take that L, boy. So all that sneakiness and all that dirtiness that's going on, and you ain't taking care of the people, that's where you're gonna have a problem with me. See, let me tell you, I don't mind you making bus loads of money. That come with the game. But if you ain't gonna take care of the people, then I'm gonna come see you. And when I come, that means JD coming, Sweet Daddy Williams, the Reaper, whatever you want to call me. But I'm coming. And I'm gonna start with that contract for the Next Wave Strategies. Preston Middleton can't hide, bro. Can't hide behind Shakira Dennis, partner. Y'all Google Preston Middleton and see who he works for. The OG is coming, boy. And you gonna mind somebody. I can promise you that. You're not gonna keep stealing taxpayer money, doing what you want to do, and acting like you don't know what I'm talking about. See, you clearly know what I'm talking about. I got a brand new dance called it Tighten Up. Y'all want me to talk about the Harris County Jail? You want me to talk about Jesse Smollett? Let's start with the Harris County Jail. And that's all I got to say about it. Let's talk about Jesse Smollett, who fake getting beat up and basically got caught. That's all I got to say about it. Some things we don't need to talk about. Because some things just don't make no sense. What's going on at the Harris County Jail been going on for years. It's been going on for years. It's been going on again for years. But until you get somebody in these positions, like whoever the sheriff is, it's time for you to put some folks in position that's going to do the job. These people are not doing their jobs, and yet we keep putting them in office, man. The culture of the Harris County Jail has been what it's been forever. But until we put somebody in office that's going to go in with the mentality to clean it up and get it right, it's not going to matter. Now, Jesse Smollett, I don't know, bro. I don't know what to say about that. Until we get somebody to go up in these places, it's not going to change. Didn't y'all vote Ed Gonzalez in there? You voted him back in. And look at what happens. So what the excuse going to be this time? Oh, I'm trying to figure it out. What the excuse going to be this time? We have to take a different stance. It is time to hold our vote. Man, let me tell you something. Now, I'll talk about that. The power grid, from what I understand, the power grid has never been fixed. Thunder, you're right, is getting cold. But I don't understand the power grid. I think it got down to what, 14, 15 degrees and all the power went out. Well, guess what? I am in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And yesterday, with the wind chill factor, the temperature was 0. Am I sitting here talking to you today in 14-degree weather? What are they doing up here because we're right next to Canada, that they can't do in the state of Texas. See, everybody making money, but ain't nobody doing no work. I said the temperature yesterday up here was 0. I ain't never been in 0 temperature weather until yesterday. So what are they doing up here that they're not doing down there? No, and you say, do I live here? It's like my second home. Craven, this is like my second home. So if they can consistently live in 0 temperature weather, then what are they doing down in Texas? Ain't no lights went out. Ain't nobody freezing. 0 degrees yesterday. And I was out in it. Now, previous say these same people have been city council seats, just move around to another position, because that is exactly what the black leadership of Harris County wants. They are going to decide who sits in what seat. The people so stupid and dumb. You feel what I'm saying? You go out there and you vote for these people because that's who they tell you to vote for. And then all you do is move them from one seat to the next seat, and then shit be fucked up. It was fucked up over here, now it's fucked up over there. Barbara said being in the energy business in Texas is about money. And she's been in the energy business for a while. The grid isn't really an issue. There are a lot of politicians involved. Remember, this is an oil state. Thunder said, I remember that one city official who said that people need to stop begging and that the city wasn't responsible for the citizens in time of an emergency. You tell me. You're just shuffling these people around. They just shuffling these people around. But just remember this. Garnett Coleman's seat is up, so you got Reagan Flowers, Yolanda Jones, a host of others running on the Democratic side. And you got my man, Rashard Baylor, on the Republican side. Rashard Baylor is born and raised in Southeast Houston. I went to school and graduated with his mom. And it's an honor to be able to run for our seats on the Republican side, because the Democratic side would never embrace us. So he's running in 147 and I'm running in 131. There's still a few days left. And once the 13th come, if nobody does it, we go from the primary to the general. And Coney McIntyre says, 5-star, you ever seen nothing yet in Minnesota when it comes to the weather. Wait till it drops down to 15 below. But even though it may drop to 15 below, ain't no lights finna go out. Ain't nobody finna freeze to death, because it's something they doing up here that they ain't doing down in Texas. Now I'm gonna tell you something. Tomorrow night, you guys don't want to miss this show. See, because I've been telling y'all a long time about the Madison principal, Carlotta Brown outlet, and the cheating that she did at Peck on the STAR test. Tomorrow night, I'm going to unseal the full investigation of the cheating on the STAR test at Peck in 2017 Because guess what? I got the whole investigative file from TEA, 142 pages. There was cheating going on at Peck. And I'm going to unleash it tomorrow night and put the nails in the coffin of one of the worst principals that I've ever seen. And HISD, you ain't got much longer to play this game with me. You know why? Because I'm about to turn this place into Atlanta. You think this a game? I'm finna have everybody going to jail. I got the whole file. It's a reason I'm a best in the business. Every night, 7 o'clock, YouTube and Facebook, it's your man. They love to hate me, and some of them hate to love me. You know, who am I? I'm the 5-star general. Tomorrow night, I'm coming with the full investigative report from TEA that proves HISD, you knew they were cheating on the STAR test. And it's time for somebody to be held accountable. Until then, I'll holler at you.